Hey, yo, welcome back. Today, we're checking in on Count Binface. I opened up my laptop and I saw this, my Clacton victory speech. Did he win? I can't believe this is real. Let's go on, let's watch it.
Hello, humans.
Hello.
Well, a new dawn has broken, has
Excellent.
it not? Literally, because it's past 6:30 in the morning here in Clacton-on-Sea.
Okay.
And I can officially say that I am the winning candidate.
What?
Of the candidates who bothered to turn up for the results. That's right, 9,455
Okay.
actual votes. Just 8 weeks ago in Makerfield, I got 95. That means I've got against none.
Okay, I didn't expect him to win. So for my American friends who've not been following this, there is a special election in Britain between conservative guy Nigel Farage and Count Binface, who you see here. No one expected Count Binface to win, but it was a whole thing. I'll explain it in a minute. Okay, he didn't win, but he got the most he's the winning candidate of the candidates who bothered to turn up for the results. Okay, so I know in British elections they do this wonderful thing where everyone who ran in the election has to stand on the stage together while the results are read out loud. It's fair. Everyone's treated the same. I love that. I wish American politics did that. We don't, because it's not fair. That's a whole other thing I'll get into, I guess. Let's hear Count Binface. It is a victory. It says 9,455 votes. That's a lot.
455 actual votes.
Way to go.
Just 8 weeks ago in Makerfield, I got 95. That means I've got against Nigel Farage 10,000% more votes than I got against Andy Burnham. What does that tell you?
Andy Burnham is the new Prime Minister of Britain. So, wow. So we got 95 votes against Andy Burnham. I feel like that's a more common number for these kind of candidates to get, right?
Tells you that Nigel, who said that he didn't want to be humiliated, maybe has been. As for me, I'm over the moon, I'm over your moon, I'm over my moons, and what comes next, well, we shall see. But you know what? We know this for a fact. Over 1 in 4 people in this constituency would rather have Count Binface as their MP than the leader of Reform UK. And I'm just getting started. So where do we go now? Well, the first thing you have to consider is, I promised to be a local champion for Clacton people, and I thought the best thing I could do was to turn up and get my verdict from Clacton's people and to stand with the other candidates who all behaved themselves impeccably until after the results. But yes, that was my view. And of course, the next question is what happens after this? Well, we will find out. Stay tuned for part 2 of the Clacton by-election, coming soon to a leisure centre near you as soon as that parliamentary inquiry reports. Bring it on.
Awesome. I'm so proud of Count Binface. Y'all, I laughed a minute there just because I found myself looking into the eye slit of the bin rather than the square. I guess it's supposed to be his mouth, but that's really where the guy's looking out. Anyway, congrats, Binface. Okay, this says, Count Binface hits out as Nigel Farage refuses to attend the by-election results declaration. So he didn't show up to the results being read.
I always like to be to meet the great and the good of the political world. Again, I ask you to draw your comparison. Theresa May, I met her at an election. Rishi Sunak, Boris Johnson, Andy Burnham, they all came to the count.
Okay, Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak, and Andy Burnham. They all showed up for the election results reading. I respect all of them for that.
I asked Essex Police, was there any credible threat of disruption here? And I can tell you they said unequivocally no. It was safe to go ahead. So I leave you guys to draw your own conclusions. I am gratified that after this
guy in the
election,
back.
I have been able to sort of put the seal on it by coming to get the verdict of the good people of Clacton. I think that's the nice way to do it. I promised to be a local champion for Clacton, and I thought to hear the verdict of the Clactonites was the least I could do. And why? Because I've had over 9,000 votes, guys. Now, in Makerfield,
Who are these people around
8
him?
weeks ago, I got 95 votes. So against Nigel Farage, compared to Andy Burnham, I am 1,000 times more popular. Does that have anything to do with why he isn't here tonight, on a night when they said they thought they'd get over 80%? Again,
they thought they'd get 80%.
All I will say to you is what happens next. Let's all meet for part 2 of the Clacton by-election, coming soon to a leisure centre near you.
Okay. He's staying on message.
What's next for Count Binface?
Guys, you got 18 votes, Nick. Give it a rest.
Count Binface, did you just say should
Wait, that guy ran too? Nick? Hang on. I wonder if I could find the ballot. Okay, here's the ballot. Wow, there's a lot of people on here. Let's see. Joseph 77. That can't be real. That's got to be a novelty, right? Adam Alcatip. Count Binface. Oh, there's his logo. I like his logo. Nick, the Incredible Flying Brick. That must have been Nick, who got 18 votes. Tony Kane. Woke Trump Carsey. Okay. Nigel Farage. This says Daniel Pocock, address in Australia. So someone in Australia ran. Good for him. Baron von Thunderclap. Okay. And Mark Wilkinson. Oh, here's the reading of the...
That the number of votes recorded for each candidate at the said election is as follows.
Here we go.
Darwood Thomas Faithful, commonly known as Joseph 77, Independent, 42.
42 votes. Hey.
Al-Khatib Adam, the Forward Party, 49. Harvey Jonathan David, commonly known as Count Binface, the Count Binface Party, 9,455.
Awesome.
Delves Nicholas Charles Ellsworth, commonly known as Nick the Incredible Nick the Incredible Flying Brick, the official Monster Raving Loony Party, 28.
28. Oh, I thought he said 18. 28 votes. Hey, all right.
Carr Matthew Nigel, commonly known as Woke Trump Carsey, Independent, 8.
8 votes. So most of these novelty guys are getting 2 digits.
Town Reese, Independent, 50. Cummings Glenn Charles, Independent, 7.
I love that they have to read them all out, no matter what.
Farage Nigel, Reform UK, 22,239. Fard Attia, Independent.
The applause for Farage was very muted. Interesting.
Nigel Farage has won the Clacton by-election and even managed to increase his parliamentary majority.
But what has changed? He's still being investigated over the donations, and Britain is still being dazzled by its new Prime Minister.
I forgot about that. Yeah, the reason this whole thing happened was because he's being investigated for taking £5 million as a gift. He didn't declare it. You're supposed to declare it. He didn't declare it. He says he did nothing wrong. He says the £5 million was for security. You can research that yourself, depending on whatever political leaning you have. You'll probably find different information. But this guy's staring at me in a terrifying way.
Where are we? So we've got Farage still popular in Clacton, Farage still being investigated by the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner, the prospect of another Farage by-election, and the left...
Another election?
As May might say, nothing has changed this morning. Nothing has changed.
Wow.
Tim, Nigel Farage has won the Clacton by-election, probably quite predictably, and he's even managed to increase his parliamentary majority, but he didn't attend the count, saying this instead.
I'm not scared of these people, far from it. But I'm damned if I'm going to stand on a stage having won a resounding victory, a ringing endorsement of all that I've tried to fight for and you try to fight for, and be demeaned and humiliated by nobodies, and I will not, sadly, be attending the count.
I don't like that. Even if you support him, you got to admit that's not
So that
cool.
would be the first candidate to not attend a count since Bobby Sands in 1981. And now a row seems to be breaking out between Reform and Essex Police over the threats that were received and the nature of them and whether or not Farage was told he could or couldn't attend the count. We're going to analyse it with Tony Diver, who joins us from The Telegraph. Tony, you've been covering it all night. Are you okay? Do we need you to get some Pro Plus and perhaps some caffeine and give you a slap around the face? Or
I'm absolutely fine. I'm raring to go. But it is a very interesting result, this. The question, obviously, is how it's perceived back in Westminster, whether this is seen as a win for Farage or whether it's just seen as a kind of meaningless, pointless sideshow that's taken up everyone's time during silly season during the summer. But this point about him not attending the count has caused a bit of a stir. There's actually some confusion about what exactly happened. Essex Police is saying that they didn't warn him not to attend the count. Other people in Reform are saying actually it was Farage's security team that suggested he shouldn't go. It sounds like what actually happened was that the other candidates were preparing some kind of stunt to make him look silly on the stage rather than a genuine security threat, which we know Farage has faced many times before.
I mean, he said it himself. He doesn't want to show up there and be humiliated by standing on a stage with everybody else. That's probably what it was. I mean, maybe they're going to dump some water on his head or who knows. I wouldn't put it past people to plan something like that. So who knows? But still, he should have shown up and let the security measures at the venue manage that threat, right? It's only fair.
Nigel Farage, the populist Reform UK leader, won back his seat in Parliament.
Absolutely delighted. I knew he would.
But he seems to have lost his gamble that triggering a special election would silence his critics. With accusations swirling about his finances, Farage pitched the voters a war against an establishment set on discrediting him.
Because I wanted the people of Clacton, the voters of this constituency, to be my judge, not the mainstream media in Britain and the political establishment who paint us out to be criminals and bad people every day.
But in the hours after his victory, a parliamentary investigation into his finances, which was suspended during his campaign, resumed.
So it didn't work. The investigation is still going.
So where does this leave Farage? Analysts say Farage wanted a people versus the establishment narrative, but soon lost control of it. Yes. The election became farce when major parties dubbed it a self-serving stunt and pulled out, leaving him standing against a man dressed as a trash can. Farage didn't show up when his victory was announced to avoid, in his words, being demeaned and humiliated by nobodies.
I've had over 9,000 votes, guys.
Farage said police had advised him there was a campaign to disrupt the result. He still won comfortably with 63% of votes, but Count Binface polled a considerable 27%.
27%.
I am hoping that Mr. Farage is held to account for the allegations against him.
Now Parliament is back to investigating whether Farage should have declared a gift of £5 million, or $6.75 million, which he received from a billionaire cryptocurrency investor. Lawmakers must declare donations received in the year before an election. Farage admits receiving the money and not declaring it, but says,
I've done nothing wrong.
If investigators rule otherwise, he could face suspension and another election, in which major parties likely would field candidates. Meanwhile, the governing Labour Party under new Prime Minister Andy Burnham has gained support.
It's very close to my heart.
And overtaken Farage's anti-immigration reform, which had long led opinion polls. Reform now competes for a right-wing vote, split with the main opposition Conservative Party and the far-right Restore Britain, which is gaining popularity. It appears the Clacton gambit has done little to remove the threat to its leader.
Nigel Farage got 63%. Count Binface got 27%. 27%. A third. 9,455 votes. 9,455 people looked at this ballot, looked at Nigel Farage, looked at all the other candidates, and said, nope, I'm voting for the bin. That's an absolutely extraordinary result for a comedy candidate. This wasn't 3%. This wasn't just 100 people. 27% of the vote. I love the fact that he's treating coming in second place as a victory. This is by far the biggest victory Count Binface has ever received. Achieved, I should say, not received, achieved. I don't think 9,455 people in Clacton actually wanted Count Binface to be their representative, you know? But political satire can actually serve a purpose, right? It's a way of saying, I'm not happy with the choices you're giving me, so I'm going to make fun of this. And what's fascinating is that the joke actually connected with a lot of people. I think that's one of the things that makes British politics so interesting. This would never happen in America. It takes so much money, and you got to get all these donations. You can't just run for office in America. It's less fair. It's great because there's still room for somebody like Count Binface to take part in the elections. In America, we like to think that there's room for a Count Binface, but really there's not. Someone like Count Binface can actually put their name on the ballot. And the brick guy, what was his name? Nick the Flying Brick or whatever he was. And I think to shun those kinds of candidates makes it seem like the democracy is a farce, you know? Having a candidate like Count Binface proves the legitimacy, you know? In a weird way, some people think he's making a joke of it, but in a weird way, he's actually pointing to the legitimacy of it by allowing room for these novelty candidates. I'm reminded of, I guess it was maybe in the American presidential election in 2016, Bernie Sanders ran against Hillary Clinton in the primaries, and we've come to find out now that the Democratic convention, the Democrats basically said no to Bernie. No, he's ridiculous. He can't be the winner of the primary. To them, Bernie Sanders was a novelty candidate, and they put Hillary Clinton out to run, and she lost. I'm not saying American politics should have a Count Binface, but I also think there's something really healthy about a political system where a Count Binface can be there, where there's room created for a Count Binface. Sometimes a joke is just a joke, but sometimes a joke tells you how people feel, right? And I think in this case, getting 27% of the vote the joke was saying something. That's a healthy democracy. It's fair. There's an even playing field for everybody. It's serious. It's consequential. It's sometimes very ugly, but it can also be completely ridiculous. And as an American who spent a lot of time learning about British culture, that's something I really appreciate about British culture. There's a sense that you can take politics seriously without taking yourself seriously. My British friends, let me know what you think. Would you have voted for Count Binface if it was an option? Let me know in the comments. I'm very proud of him. I think this is wonderful. I love this. And yeah, I'm a left-leaning guy. I'm a center-left politically dude. So I don't really like Nigel Farage's anti-immigration stuff. Like, I don't even want to get into that. If he was a left-leaning dude and Count Binface was running against, I probably want to vote for Count Binface. Just for the irreverence, just for the health of it, the fairness of it. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you all think. American friends, what would be your novelty candidate, right? Who would you be? Would you wear a trash bin? There's something pretty poetic about a garbage can on your head, right? And you're a politician. And y'all, if you like this video, maybe give me a like and subscribe. I'd like to thank my patrons. I'd like to thank my Buy Me a Coffee folks. Thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see y'all next time.